morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Napoleon Total back again with some Shogun 2 Fall of the Samurai Scramble for the Far East mod, and we're back with the Qing. In the last episode, we basically just destroyed the Qing, and yeah, we're just now moving on. Also, we didn't destroy the Qing. My bad. We just destroyed we took an American fortress in Japan. And after that, we're just like moving on. So yes. Our fleet is finally getting into range. Yeah. This army is also moving to eventually capture Isol. And speaking of the capture of Isol, I'm sending one army as a diversion to Mino. I'm gonna send the other army to Isol. And this army is to do one of two things. If it can capture Mino, that's great. But it's just a diversion. The Isol, I'm trying to try to capture Isol as soon as possible. And I'm sorry, guys, I don't know why, but a few seconds, the second I started recording, I'm starting to get hiccups. But okay. But anyway, our geisha is gonna be our geisha is gonna be going around and doing stuff with the Americans. There's an American geisha right there, but there's nothing I can really do about that, so I have to pray for the best. The Americans are in enemy territory, and they're taking winter attrition, so that's good for us. Very good for us, as a matter of fact. So we don't have to really worry about them. My guys are also trying to get transported via sea to reinforce my army, which is on the Kaga border, and I'm also trying to get more guys onto the battlefield. Elsewhere, everything looks pretty good. But yes, nothing spectacular is going on. That's why I'm just gonna end the turn. The British are slowly but surely getting back on their feet. When the Americans came knocking on the door, they lost most of their armies, and now they're starting to regroup and reform. Partly because I'm doing most of the fighting, and they are going to rest a while. And hopefully they help out, but yeah. That said, there is an American fleet just bypassing my main fleet. I don't really care. I eventually will care because these guys will just bombard my fleet, so that's going to be a problem. Elsewhere, every time you see this long turn, that's a bad sign in the sense that the Americans may have a lot of armies. But that said, everything is going well. There are rebels going around, as I said in the last episode. Kaga and Setsu are the only provinces that have rebels, so that's unfortunate. Yes. I personally, like I said in the last episode, I rather prefer massive battles than province management, but that's because I rather prefer to fight on the ground. But I can't really argue with what's going on right now. And I think I did say something about November 21st being the deadline for the new update. For those that are wondering what is going to be the next update, I actually don't know. The reason is simply because a lot of miscommunication has been going on. Oh my god, I'm sorry guys. A lot of miscommunication. And a lot of stuff has just been going left and right. There's not a lot of good stuff interesting. That said, Jeff, who's working on the Scramble for the Far East, has told me that he's gonna post it on stuff. He's gonna post what is gonna be written on here. So that's interesting. Needless to say, back on here, we are going to be sieging out Isol, and the Echizu, we're just going to be finishing up this army. But first, we have to assassinate this geisha, because I'm actually afraid of geishas. Because they can make my army not move for an entire turn. This army is going to be going to Kaga, so that's going to be wonderful. But, that said, everything is going to be fine. And, for those that are wondering, this week I put multiple polls on my Discord, and, basically one of them was saying, okay, what new campaign do you guys want? And you guys almost vote anonymously to do the Netherlands, which I was surprised. Up to this point, and I'm just gonna be checking a few seconds later. The British have no votes. Choices were United States, the United Kingdom, the French, and the Netherlands. And you guys just all picked the Netherlands for some reason. Yes, and that was kind of funny. There's 2 votes for France, one vote for the United States, but I was really surprised that no people voted for the United Kingdom, which is unfortunate. That said, we're gonna be experiencing some lag, and the reason is I actually don't know why. When I was doing my Prussia playthrough, it was there was not a lot of lag, as evident as you guys could see in the Prussia video. But as we get into the late game and as we deploy more and more rockets, I think that's the reason why, we're gonna have a lot more lag. And there are 2 times in which the rockets have lag. One is when they are being fired, and one is when their shots hit. And like I just said, there's a massive amount of lag. So yes, that's unfortunate. I'm pretty sure I have more than 5 rocket crews in this battle, but that said, our men are just going to be rushing in after a few seconds. It's not pretty for the enemy, not at all. And we're just going to capitalize on that by literally just rushing through. So yes, that's that. As you can see, with all that rocket fire, we literally covered the first tier of the wall without taking any heavy casualties. Now we're gonna just be going for the second tier, and we're just gonna be essentially annihilating the enemy. Once again, there's a lot of lag for some reason. I am deploying a massive army, but from what I've been told, the Carlist mod, which I am really interested in doing, there's not gonna be oh my god, you guys, I'm sorry. There's not gonna be a lot of lag for the Carlist mod, and the reason is apparently because Izzy, who is working on the Carlist mod, has been testing it over and over again, and there's just not a lot of lag, so that's great. And for those that are wondering, a single unit has 300 guys. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, guys. Hiccups, but yes. So yes. There's not going to be a lot of guys. There's going to be a lot more dudes and a lot less lag, so that's wonderful. I can find it really funny that the second I start doing the recording, I start getting hiccups. I don't know why. Like literally, this is kind of embarrassing at this point. But that said, we are going to be rushing through the gate. And yes, I promise you I'm going to keep the battle short, and this is most of the battle. As you can see down in the tiers below, I have a lot of reserves, so yes, that's that. And once again, the amount of rockets is just so painful. We lost only 500, which is kind of surprising, considering the fact that I just deployed so many rockets and so many mortars. 5 units of rockets, 4 units of mortars, and yes, that's pretty terrifying if you use them correctly. Eventually, I'm going to have an entire army of rockets and mortars, so that's going to be even more terrifying. So yes, continuing on elsewhere. I'm going to auto-resolve this because I'm pretty sure I'm going to win, because the balance power is slightly in my favor, but however, we lost, so that's going to be a pain. Our forces are back in the oh my god, I'm so sorry, guys. Back in Setsu, so that's going to be unfortunate for me. I am drafting a lot more levies, so that's going to help, hopefully. But elsewhere, our fleet is also trying to scout. Last turn, a few turns back, we met up with Prussia, so that's fortunate. Eventually, on that side, I'm gonna remove my fleet and have them come here. So yes, that's that. And in this province, I'm just waiting for my guys to get on ships and then just go on the board. We're gonna turn in, once again, the British have a lot more agents than I do because I apparently have a cap. I don't know what their cap is, but I guess all Western factions have a lot more agents than the non-Western factions. And when I'm talking about Western, I'm including the United States. So yes, yeah, United States and Russia for specific sake. So apparently you guys voted for the Dutch, so I'm gonna be doing the Dutch for my next campaign. And now I'm basically deciding after this episode, well, after this series, we're gonna end it, and then after the new update, I'm just gonna do the Dutch. Now that said, I've been asking around, and there's another poll on Discord, and it basically says, I wonder what you guys are interested in, more Scramble for the Far East or more Shogun 2? And you guys almost, there are only 3 votes in, but, actually no, there's 4 votes, and most of them want more Avatar battles. As a matter of fact, all of them want more Avatar battles, so I'm going to be doing, until the next update, which is Beta 12, I'm going to be doing Avatar battles. And any multiplayer battle that I can get my hands on. Currently in the Discord, I am being flooded by Avatar battles. Thank you, some people. But that said, we are just going to be doing Avatar battles after the series end, which I'm thinking is going to end pretty soon, because all we have to do in this campaign is now take Musashi, which we are going to be eventually going to be blitzing through Musashi very quick after we take Owari. And after we take Musashi, we just have to take Yamashiro from the British, and we can call that a day. And get 60 provinces because, yeah, the British. Well, not the British. We have to take 60 provinces, then we can win the game, and then we will be fine. Then after Beta 12 comes out, I'll update the game, and then I'll just literally do Beta 12. No, sorry, I'll do the Netherlands. But during the time between the end of this episode and Beta 12, I'm just going to be doing a lot of Avatar battles and multiplayer battles. So yes. That said, we are just moving our armies around. There is an enemy army on the field, but I have no intention to fight it as of right now. We're in that province. We're slightly mobilizing a lot of troops. Most of them have to be the new armies, which consists of the Ever Victorious Army. And for those who haven't been watching, the Ever Victorious Army is basically the army that the British and Americans trained. The British and the French trained, and the Western advisors trained it, mostly the British and the French. They trained them to fight the Taiping Rebellion, which didn't go well for the Qing. With, the history of the Taiping Rebellion was basically against the Manchus, and one guy was like, to keep it simple, one guy was like, I'm the son of Jesus. And funny as it sounds, a lot of people rebelled against the Manchus, and it became really scary when the rebels took Kaifeng and Tianjin, I think. Tianjin or Kaifeng. And after that, it was just anarchy. As you can see, we currently have 42 provinces, which is a problem, because we need 60 to win the game. So that's going to be interesting. That said, we are waiting for winter to end, and the second winter ends, we can just march on to Musashi. And I don't know whether to peace out with the United States after we take Musashi. Because there's not a real military point of destroying the United States. That is, the only military point that I see of destroying the United States is destroying their agents. And the reason why I don't want to destroy the United States is because I want to make sure to balance the power. The second we take Musashi, the United States will be effectively split in half. Their capital is essentially gone by the time we take Musashi, because their capital is in between Musashi and where we're going. So after we take Musashi, all hell just breaks loose. And to be honest with you, I'm not afraid of the Americans right now. I'm afraid of the Prussians. But that said, in a few episodes later, you guys will eventually see the Prussians just get defeated. So yes, but we won't talk about that later, and I am spoiling a little bit for you guys. So yes, that's that. And for those who don't know by now, I do record my episodes ahead of time, so that's how I know so much. That said, our fleet is going to be going around the strait, going to the other side of the sea. And yes, the Americans are going to be bombarding Kawachi and other provinces because they have a lot more ships in the vicinity. And that's going to be a slight problem in the sense that they have more ships in the area than I do. But the good thing is that I have a lot more ships coming, and I'm also building a lot more ships. As you can see, this is a very long end turn sequence, which is really scary because you don't know what the Americans are doing. To be honest with you, I think the British are still at war of Aji Satu. I think that's how you pronounce it. They're basically this island of the island. They're basically the Awaji. I'm just gonna call them the Waji. Are on that island, the island of Shikoku, and yes. And the British are trying to take them over, which is not a bad idea for the British because the Shikoku is four provinces, I think, in the base game. I don't know how many provinces it is currently right now, but it's not a bad idea for the British. Although I'm not interested in taking Shikoku because I don't have the time. I have to deal with the Americans. This American fleet is gonna get destroyed. It's only one ship, and I have 2 ships. And I hope we actually capture it, which we don't. Which is unfortunate. Once again, there are just random periods of lag here and there, which is really unfortunate because I don't really like to show you guys lag, but yes. That said, once again, I've been told the Carlist mod has better. Obviously, there is one way I can counter lag, and that is by lowering graphics. But I'm pretty sure that you guys are not interested in me lowering graphics. I could 100% lower the graphics. In particular, like, I don't know, shadows. Shadows is one of them. I can literally lower air graphics, which is a thing. And I can definitely lower water graphics, which is also a thing. So yes. Which I think I will actually be lowering the sky graphics, so, which is air graphics, by the way. I am going to be assassinating a lot more American agents. Yes, so that's that. This dude, Zhang, is hopefully going to kill this dude. Oh no, he wounds it. Okay, for those who are wondering, wounded means that the person will come back, but it's not going to kill them, so that's unfortunate. We're going to upgrade our agent, and I'm gonna send another geisha to scout out Owari. Yeah, so yeah. I'm also gonna try to get this army mostly modernized units. But at this point we have a lot more melee units than modernized units, and then we also need to upgrade our foreign veteran. So yeah, that's great. So yes. I'm gonna move my agent to train the troops. And yes, that's that. I also need a little bit of cavalry forces so we can scout, but this is winter, so I'm not going to be moving into enemy territory that much. If this was summer, I will obviously be moving that army to scout, because cavalry has a lot faster range, especially in this mod, which is great. which is cavalry. That's good for cavalry. I'm also going to be moving more troops from Wakasa, and yeah, we're just going to move them to Echu. I am going to be training some guard infantry, so for the ever victorious army. So hopefully that's going to do it. There is still an American force right here, and it's getting destroyed by winter. And I don't know if the Americans are just going to sit there for the rest of their existence, which is actually not a bad thing. And the reason is simply because I don't really want to fight that massive army. Once again, this army that has just captured Issel is generalless because the Americans killed our general. And this is actually pretty. The general that killed was, I think our brother or something. But he killed, the Americans killed him. And yeah, that's unfortunate. Which is once again why I've been saying nerf agents, and hopefully that works. And yes, as you can see, the Americans are just bombarding our ports, but they are just getting destroyed by naval bombardment from our ships, which is great. There is a massive Dutch fleet. For some reason, the Dutch apparently are able to spam ships, which is not a bad idea. Once again, you see a lot of public order issues, but as I said, we don't really care about public order because there's no such thing as public order unless you're from the provinces of Setsu or literally Kaga. But apparently Kaga's not angry right now, so I can start moving troops to the west. This American fleet is just right here. It has bombarded our port, which means I have to get my fleet really quick soon. And my fleet is actually pretty close. And we're just gonna attack the Americans head on. This army is also a lot of artillery pieces, which is once again a pretty scary force. Eventually I'm gonna group all the artillery up in one massive army, and we're just gonna have that said artillery piece just destroy enemy emplacements. We're gonna be sieging Owari. And as a matter of fact, I'm pretty confident that we can actually take this in one go. But we're going to break the siege. And the reason why I break the siege is because I want to mass up all my artillery pieces in one massive army. But eventually that means I wouldn't be attacking this turn, so I will be attacking the next turn. Which is unfortunate because we will be taking winter attrition. However, we're going to get a lot more guns on the battlefield, so that's going to be even better. Elsewhere, there's really nothing much to do, so I'm just gonna essentially have my agent go around, and I do spot a massive 2-stack American army. I don't know why they're not at Owari, but now I'm a little bit concerned because if the Americans decide to attack me, it's a 3 against 1 with the garrison army, of course. A battle in which half my units are artillery pieces, and they're going to go through winter attrition, so it's going to be an uphill battle. So I'm really scared if that massive American army attacks, but elsewhere we are doing quite well, as a matter of fact. I am getting a lot more victorious army in my massive army, so yes. So we're going to end the turn and see what the Americans do. Once again, my fleet is being moved left and right, and they're going to be trying to sail around Japan, and literally, yes. Our other general is going to be going on the ship, and he's going to be moving down south. And the British are just going to be finishing up the rest of the Japanese factions on Shikoku. And the Americans, they are going to reinforce, but their reinforcements are too little, and they only sent 1 army instead of the 2 massive stacks. And yeah, it's not looking good for them. And finally, to make the situation even better for me, it's spring. So it's spring. That means my armies will take no attrition, and I think we get a boost to stuff. I like how this guy's name is Liu Biao. And for those who don't know, Liu Biao is the founder of the... Sorry, Liu Biao is, if for those that play Three Kingdoms Total War, is the guy who's the gentleman of the Han, literally. And I like how he's presented here as literally a sailor, but okay, I can relate. We're gonna actually be facing an American fleet who's bombarding and destroying the British fleet, British ports to be exact. And we're just straight away gonna auto-resolve this. One of our ships are badly damaged, but the rest are just fine. And so that's a good sign. Elsewhere, in Owari, we're gonna group up a massive army. And we're gonna move most of the enemy mortar teams to the massive, the army that I have in the field. And we're gonna actually attack in this turn. So yes, okay. And I'm gonna say once again, more than half our army is gonna be made up of mortars from the first army. And yes, we captured some American cannons, so we're gonna be using that against the enemy. And yes, apparently for some reason cannons do a lot less in terms of lag than these, I don't know, like rockets and stuff. And rockets, oh my god, they do a lot of death and destruction, but they also cause a lot of lag. As you can see, like right there, the second they fire their volleys. And by the way, I don't have one volley, I have a lot of volleys, as you can see by that entire swarm of rockets. And what I have even more, I have mortars right behind them, and so yes. We're going to be taking out part of the walls that have cannons on them, and these artillery pieces are actually pretty good for doing just that. But just to give you some close-up of the rocket damage, here is some rocket footage that I've taken that is not really that laggy. And when I say not really that laggy, I mean there's still a little bit lag. But if you guys really want to see a lot of rocket destruction, you literally have to see all lag. But for some reason in the battle replay it's laggy. When I was fighting the battle it wasn't. So that's a little bit weird. Once again, rockets are just tormenting the enemy. Yeah. I said about lag and this is pretty bad. Not gonna lie right here. The buildings are on fire and stuff and that are on fire. And from the distance, the fortress looks like it's entirely on fire. Black smoke is rising. And for those that are wondering, no, this is only half the destruction I'm going to unleash on the enemy. The other half of the destruction hasn't been unleashed yet. So, this is really an understatement. As you can see, more mortar rounds are firing in. At the end of the battle, there's not a lot of pieces of the fortifications that will be not on fire or destroyed. Most of the fortifications will be either on fire or destroyed, as you can see with this wall. There's only one place that hasn't been destroyed, and I think you can't destroy that, and we'll get to that at the end of the battle. But my guys at this point are just firing arrows over the walls to soften up the American defenders. Eventually we're going to prepare our guys to straight outright charge in. And this battle has technically already been lost by the enemy. I still have a lot of ammunition for my mortars and rockets. I'm just not using them right now because I'm waiting for the enemy to clump up. And I'm going to be using close fire support. And I'll just show you guys a few clips of the close fire support and we'll be moving on. Our guys are going to be going through the third tier. I skipped the second tier because the second tier was kind of boring. And speaking of the only place that hasn't been destroyed, the only place that hasn't been destroyed is that Buddhist statue right there, and with the circle on its back. And you can see what I'm talking about right in this scene. This Buddhist statue hasn't been destroyed. It's actually pretty good looking, especially with the fire and the trees. But that is it for this battle, and we've taken a war without heavy losses, and we've gotten a general, so that's wonderful. This general is going to be moving to this army, but first we have to take out one unit, and yeah, we're gonna swap units, and this guy's gonna be commanding this army. And yes, there are 2 American armies on the battlefield, so that's an unfortunate sight, but that is a tale for later. So have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Now before you leave, I would like to thank you very much for watching this video. I would be honored if you could like and subscribe to the channel. Remember, more videos are coming out, so it is a good idea to click on that notification button. Anyways, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.